Good afternoon, everybody. This is Damon Bond of Bond Realty Group, licensed real estate broker in the states of Connecticut and New York. Hope everybody's doing well. Today is August 27th. It's Monday, August 27th, 2018. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to Real Talk. This is where I talk about real estate issues. If you ever need to contact me, my email is dbond011@gmail.com. That is D as my initial, my first name, Bond, B-O-N-D, 011@gmail.com. You can give me a call or text, 203-394-8123, 203-394-8123. Hope everybody's doing well this day. Summer is almost officially coming to a close. Next week is Labor Day. The kids in many parts, particularly up here in Connecticut, are going back to school. I know in New York, in particular in the city, traditionally it was after Labor Day. They went back to school that Tuesday. All right, so everybody's doing well. Okay, so let me jump right into it. I figured I'd talk about, today I want to discuss wholesaling because I did get a question from someone who was interested in aspects of wholesaling and what that entail and what does it mean and how it's working and everything like that. So I'm going to break it down the best way I can for you just to disclose something. I particularly never actually wholesale properties. Me personally, my own thing is I'm not really into wholesaling. Wholesaling is not flipping. That's something different. Flipping is basically you go and actually buy the property and you renovate it. It's your property. You have legal title of the property, and then you sell it for profit. Minus all the expenses and everything that you spent. But wholesaling, you never actually own the property. Legally speaking, you never actually own the property, and that's the thing. And with flipping, you need some money to get started. Of course, down payment. You need money to pay out contractors or whatnot, materials, labor, whatever it may be. Wholesaling, there's very little money you put down for yourself. That's why it's attractive to a lot of people. There's a way for them to get into real estate without actually putting any, initial money down. All right. So now, what is exactly wholesaling? Well, the best way I can break to you is this, and I'm going to try to streamline this. Wholesaling is basically when you agree to buy a property, but you don't actually buy it. Within a lot of time, you're going to transfer that contract to somebody else, and they'll buy it, and then you're going to get paid at closing for that sale of that property. So let me try to give you a tangible example of that. So let's say you have somebody, right? We'll call him John. John decided he's looking to buy a property and wholesaling it, right? So John shops around. He finds some couple who, let's say, are tired of paying for their mortgage. They don't have enough money to repair for the property or whatnot, upkeep the property. They're tired of it. They want to get rid of it, and they're going to, downgrade to a condo. Well, not downgrade, but, switch to a condo and stuff like that, and or it's going to be more affordable or something like that. So what happens is this. So John contacts the owners, right? They sit down. They have a talk or what have you. Then what happens is this. All right. I'm going to get into the specifics. I just want to get the overview of it, and then we're going to get to the specifics, all the holes and things like that. But so the owners agree, all right, and they enter into a contract with John. And by the way, John is not a licensed real estate agent or anything like that. John's just some dude who's interested in this property. All right. So now John has the contract, right? And one of the advantages of wholesaling is you want to do it quickly as possible, right? So let's say you have a closing date of 2 weeks. You want to transfer the title in 2 weeks, right? September 15th. So let's say September 15th. That's 3 weeks about 3 weeks. So the 3 week time period, right? You want to close this deal. So now, here's the thing. You have this contract with them, right? That you're going to buy that property, what have you, right? And in 3 weeks, they're gonna get their money. Let's say their property is $100,000, all right. And you would examine everything and whatnot. You did an initial walkthrough, and you determined that the property may need anywhere max $150,000 worth of work. Could be less, could be more, right? But we'll say 150, right? In fact, it's less, but you're putting a cushion on you, if you will. So now, what John needs to do is, in order not to buy this property, is he has to procure a buyer. All right, a buyer who will almost always be an investor to get this property. All right, so he has his contract. So in 3 weeks, September 15th, 2018, he needs to get rid of this property, right? So he finds a buyer. That buyer then, will talk to John will talk to the buyer rather, and then he will say, okay, yes, here is, basically it's like a dating service, matchmaker.com, whatever you want to call it, right? So John goes and gives it to this new buyer, all right? This buyer who's interested in this property, right? So now what happens is this. John, agrees to sell the property. John, the proposed price is $150,000, right? So John's going to get $200,000 for it, right? And he's going to make anywhere like a $50,000 profit. So now that buyer now the new buyer has a property and is going to close on a thing and whatnot. So what happens is the seller, closes with the buyer. Title never actually goes in John's name. Title's actually never transferred in John's name. John has never owned a house or is never really interested in buying a house, right? It's kind of up in the air, all right? The new buyer has the name, on the deed and everything like that, and the title, what have you, right? That's the way it works. So basically, the new buyer gets the house, right? The sellers get rid of their house, all right? And they get whatever profits they get from the house. And John, gets whatever he gets out of the deal, all right, from finding the buyer and the seller. That is pretty much simple, right? Now, for those of you who are expert wholesalers, and I told you, admittedly, I'm not a wholesaler. I just know about it actually being real estate, all right? That's a very simplistic way of looking at it, right? Now, let's start to look in here. And by the way, I'm not disparaging wholesale. I'm not saying, it's great or not great. I'm just telling to you what it is because this is real talk. So here's the thing, right? What is so attractive about wholesaling? What's so attractive about wholesaling is you need very little of your own money to do this, all right? That's one advantage of wholesaler. Unlike flipping, as I said before, you need money if you want to get in the flipping business. You need to start over something, right? You don't need to do that with wholesaling. That's why it's very, very attractive. You don't have to be an expert in real estate in order to do wholesaling, right? What you do need to have is you need to have some connections and a network system, right? Now, here's the thing. Is wholesaling illegal? It depends. Now, up here in Connecticut and New York, where I am a practicing real estate broker, right, is very vague, all right? New York is not illegal, all right, as long as the contract is stated or worded correctly, if you will, then it's not a problem. All right. So as simple as that example I gave you might have been too simple, right? There can be some problems with wholesaling. First problem is this. Why would a seller want to wholesale to you? Okay. And you have to disclose this to them. So why would they want to wholesale their property to you if you have no intention of really buying it and you're going to do that? You could match it with somebody else. They could do that themselves, or they could hire a real estate agent to do that themselves. Okay. Well, you say, well, they may want to, prevent from paying a commission. That may be true, right? But other than that, though, you have to, and by the way, you have to disclose to them, right? Particularly in New York, was worded that, yes, this is your intent, this is what you have to do, this is what you plan to do, right? So that's the first aspect. Having somebody agree that, yes, the wholesalers, right? Number two, attorneys are involved in real estate transactions, right? So attorney, particularly for the sellers, will be like, wait, hold on here, okay? Yeah, no, this is not kosher, so to speak, or, there may be some questions, right? Remember, you don't want to get yourself in trouble. Now, here's the thing. Usually wholesalers will have in the contract stipulated that, listen, if we don't find anybody, by this date, blah, 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 a specific date, right? Like I said, we're going to use our date September 15th. They'll say, okay, the deal's off because they don't want your property where you're headed. Right? Now, a lot of sellers aren't going to agree to that. A lot of sellers are like, wait, hold on here. We're trying to get rid of our house. So if you can't find somebody within that 3-week time period, right, we're stuck. We just wasted 3 weeks, all right, of this house being in the market. No. We can go with a real estate agent, a licensed professional and whatnot to do this. So these are some of the things with wholesaling. You just have to decide if you're going to do it, all right, or whatnot. And by the way, you do research on the web and what have you. It's all out there, so I'm not saying anything new. This is to the larger audience who always wonder about how to get in real estate, how to get your feet wet. It requires a lot of research because you have to find a property in your area that, maybe derelict or looks derelict, okay? Homeowners who are usually desperate, who want to get out of there, get up from this mortgage. This is how you got to go about doing it. And then once you have the property, you have to find a network of people, investors, who want to, get rid of it. Now, remember, investors are usually savvy. So investors, of course, are going to negotiate, on their terms or what have you. So these are some things you have to be aware of and look out for in terms of wholesaling. So there's plus minuses, I gave you the minuses. The plus, of course, is, I reiterate, you don't need a whole lot of money or cash to go right into it. And then once you start wholesaling, it becomes a lot easier for you. So these are some plus and minuses. So if I don't like wholesaling, what I prefer, I actually prefer purchasing properties and holding on to them, right? As opposed to flipping. I've flipped a couple, but I prefer to hold on to them. So that's what it is about wholesaling. So like I said, do your research, and a couple of things if you decide if you're going to wholesale. Here's your base. I'm going to give you your toolbox, right? Here's your toolbox if you're going to wholesale, right? I think you should have these things in place. One, an attorney on your side, all right? An attorney who can tell you or assist you in writing a proper contract. And they may write one for themselves, right? And if you have to pay them a little something, pay them a little something. It is worth it. It is worth it, right? So number one, you're going to need an attorney, right? Number two, don't do anything in your own name. Form an LLC. It doesn't have to be fancy, right? You go, if your name is John Smith, you can form John Smith LLC, right? But you want to have this under the LLC name, right? Use a taxpayer identification number or employee identification number, an EIN as they call it, right? Very easy to get. It's free. The IRS can give it to you. You can do it online. You don't have to mail it off anymore. It's very easy and simple to do, right? So number one, attorney on your side. Number two, if you don't have an LLC, establish an LLC just for your wholesaler because you don't want nothing come and bite you know where. So this is my recommendation. So like I said, I know this is overly simplistic, but please do your research on it. I hope this was helpful. If you like it, press like it. You want to subscribe, blue button, blue bell, or whatnot. And please share this with anyone and everyone who may be interested in wholesaling or, real estate in general. So this has been Real Talk. Damon Bond. I'm Damon Bond, can't talk today. Had a long weekend. Licensed real estate broker in the states of Connecticut and New York. If you have any questions, you can always email me, dbond011@gmail.com. That is dbond, B-O-N-D, D-B-O-N-D 011@gmail.com. Always give me a call or text, 203-394-8123, 203-394-8123. I will get back to you. Ask anybody who ever emailed me. I always get back to them. Always get back to them. So thank you. It's been wonderful. Please stay safe. Please stay secure. And until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.